Yo, YouTube, what's up? It's Aeghis. Kind of just making a little intro here. This is gonna be, I guess the first video of many that I'm gonna be making, well, hopefully making, um, where I go over particular matchups, like individual matchups that you run into, um, as fighting or as playing RMP. I figure people have been asking for like an RMP guide and whatnot, but it's too much information for one video. So I figure the best way to maybe tackle it is to just break it down into matchups. So like how to play RMP into like GODCOMP, for example, would be this one. And then maybe have like, um, R Druid TSG or like Turbo, Ret Warrior, stuff like that. So leave a comment on which matchup you guys are struggling into so I know kind of what matchups that I should be covering next. But for this video, I'm just going to cover Ardured God Comp because I think it's something that is pretty hard for Rogue Mage. I know you don't see too many Ardured God Comps, but I think it's an important matchup to know how to play. So I'm just going to start with this one. So we can just go ahead and play the video here, see how it starts. So obviously we're in the opener phase. It's kind of hard to get a good opener against this comp. I feel like the kill is primarily on the Shadow Priest. Or like the Shadow Priest is who you kind of want to do a lot of your goes on. Obviously it's up in the air, like according to DRs, like what DRs are available. But the Druid is also a viable kill option. The Mage, I wouldn't really go the Mage unless he overextends a lot, or he like blocks or trinkets defensively to help his teammates. Then after he does that, then he can be a viable kill target. So we actually just sapped the Priest. One thing, this is just a little note. You can see this buff here. See my mouse cursor. This is already some information that you should take away here. Is that he is playing the Shadowlands legendary. So he's not playing like double PI or Fuse. That's something to keep in mind. So because he's playing this actually makes him a better target to go. Because on other goes, he would be able to just like do an insanely big Shadow Mend on his teammates. So that's something to look out for. Versus all Shadow Priests. I don't think they play it too much nowadays because everyone's playing Necro. This guy's actually playing Ventir. But so we just do a sap pre-bomb. This is like guaranteed to get something. So we get Ironbark here. Ideally, also you want to stun the Druid as soon as he comes in the bomb. Let's see if Naj actually got stunned there by the Druid. Let's see. There's the pre-bomb, cheap shot. So Flop doesn't actually stun Naj, so what he could have done is stun the Druid. And then we can go for a CC off of it. And we can get more. Okay, so there's the stun, but it's a little late, so I get stopped. They do a nice go here, where they blink DB Sheep Arrows, silence me, and stun Naj. So you can obviously tell. Let's see, there's Mind Games, Combust. This is an easy trade. It's just Trinket Cloak. So he gets restunned, Trinket Cloak. Should be okay now. Sight Fiend is up. You want to make sure to kill this. It reduces the healing done. Like let's say Sight Fiend is on Naj. Naj takes 50% less healing. So it's really, really crucial to kill. They actually cloned Naj. Luckily, Aeghis is able to top him beforehand. So now what I'm looking at here, now that we've traded Trinket Cloak, stun DRs are falling. Basically, this means that it's our turn to do our go. I can look down here and see that they have no kick or DB. So they don't have a lot of interrupts. One thing that you actually, now that I just mentioned this, you see Hansel here is channeling Shifting Power. This is something from the Mage perspective that you have to be aware of. So even though Omnibar says he has no kick, he's going to have his kick, right? Because he's Shifting Powers, which reduces the cooldown of every single ability that he has. So, if I were to go for a cast here, I would want to fake it. So we do a go on Mage here because he's in a better spot. Like if Naj has to push in all the way over here to this Priest, it's a little bit harder. So we opt to just do like a closest wizard strategy. Sometimes it doesn't feel good, but this is usually a longer match. So Naj blinds here in a sec. And then usually you want to just sap this because of MD existing. So Kevin, I think, keeps him in combat. So instead we just Fear Mage, Kidney Druid, and then we stun the priest. And this is a good go. So this is an example of a good go here. Chastise Fear Mage, Kidney Druid, stun priest. I go for the ring off, but he Trinket Fears us. Naj is able to get the sap off of the kidney because he's playing Deeper Stratagem, which you lose Mark for Death, but you basically just get 6 combo points instead of 5, which allows you to have a 7-second kidney. Here you can see it. I'll back it up a little. Boom, 7 seconds. And that's actually enough time for him to drop combat. You can see I drop combat right here with the little thing, and it disappears. Nice, full sap. One thing to be aware of, like I said before, when you blind, if the druid is necro and he has a Kevin Oozelings out on the field, that'll actually keep them in combat. So something to be aware of. Let's see here. Yeah, so we got a double trinket here actually. I'll back it up just a second. So I sheet Mage's trinket because I know he has no kick. Let's see. I late bust this. This is something that can be sketchy, but if you do it correctly, you can literally just win the game off of surprising people. So a couple things that kind of showed up to me and what made this late bust viable was I got the sheep on the mage, and this cheap shot, he has one more cheap shot out of this, and he's already trinket faded. So like in his mind, he's already pressed buttons to respond to our go. He doesn't want to really have to press more. Like it really sucks if you have to like trinket fade and disperse in the same go. Like that is really tragic. So I bust here really late. Oh, he actually fades and then disperses. So we literally got every single button. One thing after each go is you kind of want to like analyze what you're getting after each go, right? So I know this go that we got double trinket, fade, disperse. So that was a really, really good go. So now again, we're trying to play back. Naj has no trinket cloak, so he's going to ideally just run back to this pillar. Yep, there he goes. Siphfiend is on him. He gets stunned. I should have killed that Siphfiend, but I got silenced, so I opt to come back to stop the DB Sheep or Bash clone on Aeghis. Because you can see how they're positioned. They want to land something on Aeghis here. Druid channels of flesh. I sheep the mage. I can't reach the ring, so ideally Aeghis is going to fear that. Mage actually blocks my my sheep on him. So this go is already pretty good because we got mage block and druid trinket. So another really, really successful go. I actually go for a little bit of an aggressive play here. So I realize that the druid trinketed the fear and that he's not on poly DR. And I have my CS available. I wouldn't go for this polymorph if I did not have my kick, because obviously the priest can just use a fast MD. So I sheep this druid here in a sec. He doesn't shift it because he's trying to heal his S-priest. I actually kick the fast MD there, and my priest lands a mind game. So this is actually like kind of sick. I couldn't re. So I mean, it didn't really force much. I guess we got fade from that poly. So I guess it wasn't terrible. Good job by my team running behind the pillar, especially when they have no trinket cloak. And at this point in the game, when you're kind of just like in this middle phase between like your go and their go, a lot of what I'm trying to do is fireball. Just like you see me fireballing a lot. Always looking to fireball targets above 90% so that you can get value from your fire starter talent. And let's see. Yeah, so I'm just fireballing stuff. Trying to juke kicks if they have it. You can see I'm trying to juke his poly there. He actually does get the kick. And this is kind of how a lot of mages will get their setup, and how ideally you want to get yours is you want to lock them on poly and then go for your DB sheep, because then they can't like blink DB you, or and they also can't CS you. So that's exactly what Hansel does to me. You can see here, locks me on poly, and then sheeps my healer for free. I'm not able to stop it, even though I had DB and CS available. They get the bust on Naj. He bombs himself defensively. Kidneys Mage defensively on his bust because he has no trinket or block. I land the DB ring here. He's just going to disperse, or MD it, rather. It was a little bit of a defensive go, which is fine because now Naj has trinket cloak back. Just a little defensive stun on Priest there. So now this is actually good. You can see like S-Priest is the target we want to really go, right? But now our DRs are kind of fucked. So Aeghis was pushing in for CC on the Druid, but we have no stun DR to kill the Shadow Priest, right? So this is a go where like you kind of have to adapt, and it's something that as RMP you need to notice this, right? You need to be doing goes off of cooldown, and since the stun DR is not, you know, obviously available on the kill target, it doesn't mean that you just shouldn't go for the next 20 seconds. It just means do your go on someone else, and hopefully still force shit, right? But we don't. I didn't know that we didn't, but we should have. Okay, yeah, they do another go. So this is Naj's Trinket Cloak here. So really good trade by them. This is a very common go that they do. They got the double fear into ring with stun silence on me. And then stun Naj, which he trades Trinket Cloak for. Pretty scripted stuff going on. I get the sheep on Mage. Since Priest fades, we have to just go Mage. And he also has Disperse back, and Mage has no block. So we actually kind of want to, like I said in the beginning, like Mage opens up as a viable kill target once he blocks to peel his teammates, right? So right now we're actually kind of looking at the Mage, since in a way this Priest has two ways to live. He has his Trinket and Disperse, both of which are usually going to save him. Oh, sorry. So we opt to just go the Mage here. We get Trinket from that, which is really good. Ideally, he saps this, but remember, Kevin is out, so he's probably actually not going to land the sap. So he has to go for the cheap shot. I ring it, but what I'm doing first, I noticed that the priest has no death, and I noticed earlier that he faded. You can see here. And so I get the sheep on the priest first, and then I ring the druid. Don't have to deal with mass dispel. Priest trinkets to MD it, so this is good. We got mage trinket and priest trinket from that go. Mage locks me, which remember, this is how most mages do their goes. They want to lock the other mage out and then go for their CC. So they're getting arcane locked here is a pretty telegraphed way of knowing that they're about to do their go. And obviously I track my teammates' DRs. We are all off stun DR and sheep DR, so they are looking to do their go. Aeghis gets full polyed. Oh, he actually... How does he get out of that? I think he deathed it. Oh wait, no, it just broke. Okay, I don't know. They're trolling. Yeah, so they kind of trolled this go, I guess. Because they used their stun and sheep. But I think the sheep just randomly broke. So that's cool. So they opt to just do a go with Rake clone and no CC on Naj. So it's gonna allow Naj to just vanish this. Ideally, if this would have been a clean go from them, it probably would have been Aeghis' trinket. So they could have gotten way more. The only thing they actually got from this go was vanish, which is really, really good for us because we don't have to trade a trinket. So that's pretty pog. Naj does a kidney sap. And we decided to go back on the priest here because he's just the closest target. I think that go would have maybe been better on the mage. I think we actually opt to hit the mage here a little. Yeah, I actually remember middle of the game here. I'm actually gonna turn on the audio real quick. It's anyone now. I think it's mage, dude. Yeah, see, in the middle of the game, I actually like said, I voiced my opinion and said that go would have been better on the mage because all we did was really get disperse. I feel like if that go was on the mage, we could have possibly gotten the druid's trinket. But the fact that we did go priest that go means that literally anybody is kind of the kill target because the mage has no trinket block, the priest has no trinket disperse. So like these guys are both in a lot of trouble. But you can see we are also kind of in trouble because Naj has no trinket cloak and the priest obviously has no trinket either because they got double CC'd there. I wonder if I could have maybe... No, I couldn't have stopped that. I just got trinket back. I also have no CS. One thing I actually noticed from watching this game back is how many CSs I'm tanking. I'm getting arcane locked like a lot. This is something that you need to try to like avoid by juking a lot more. Like I could be juking way more. See right there? I backed it up, by the way. I keep backing it up. He has CS available, and I'm like not trying to juke that polycast at all while they're going, you know? So they're trying to kill through Aeghis' trinket. Now that we lived their go, we are obviously trying to start our go, because DRs are off, stun DRs. So, like I said, we can go either one here. Ideally, in this situation, we would go the mage because we can't cross the mage. We can't fear him because there's DB DR, and we can't sheep him because there's chastise DR. And you can see they're fully DR'd. So ideally, we would use this go on the mage because we can't cross him. But we can cross the priest because his DRs are fresh. So hopefully that's what we do. I get the ring. Oh, they both pre-kite, and Naj doesn't have any steps. So this go was kind of really bad. One thing that you don't want to do, like I did here, is bust with no stuns. I guess I kind of just assumed he had a step, and then he was about to step stun the mage there. Here, I keep backing it up. Let's see. So there's a good way to, actually, it's a good thing I noticed this. There's a good way to avoid what just happened, by the way. So, instead of just going for this ring right away, what I should have done is pre-sheeped someone. Which doesn't allow them to pre-run like they're doing here. See how the priest is in Africa? This is something that can be easily avoided by pre-sheeping someone for the go. It's the same concept of like pre-DBing too, like in twos, like you've seen a lot in my other videos and whatnot. But there's actually just no pre-CC on anybody, so they're able to just kite and stop our go completely. So that was a mistake on my end. I opt to just break the fleshcraft on the druid with the rest of my bust. It's something that you want to be doing with your leftover bust damage usually. They do their go. Naj has trinket cloak back. Only has to trade cloak, which is nice. I get the full sheep. He MDs it. I sheep the MD. We get more because we have a lot of dam. I opt to DB the druid here. I think I actually missed my CS2. You can see that. Go for the quarter sheep. I see that he's really low, so I cancel my Mally for a DB tick. He has to trinket the DB, which is kind of sick. Now, the thing that I see here is no fleshcraft on the druid and no trinket on the druid. So this is, like I said, this opens up another window here to kill the druid. Also, this video is like going on like 20 minutes. This matchup is usually kind of long. They have a lot of CDs, especially when you go Shadow Priest. Maybe you could shorten the game a little bit by just tunneling the druid, but it's harder to get clean setups that way, especially against good teams like this one. So I think in order to be consistent and not just go for like cheese wins, it's better to just play the long game rather than just tunneling the druid the whole game. They try to kill our healer, I think. I did kick the mage though. Comes out of stuns. Probably should have killed that Siphene earlier, but I believe I was CC'd. Nope, so I could have killed that Siphene. Something that I need to be doing way more. You can even see I'm learning from watching my own games back, you know, like people were saying, you know, make a educational commentary, and it's like, you know, now I'm learning from my own games as well. So yeah, this is what we do. Naj gets the 7-second kidney. We do Chastise Fear on this guy, and Mage is just an Africa and a root, so we don't even really need to cross him. I line the poly. And then we go hard on the druid here. He skins. We get priest trinket there. So this is so good. They all have no trinkets. And in Rogue Mage, this is usually like your win condition is a full team with no trinkets. Obviously, you can just win next go. And it's something to look at. The druid has no bark skins available. The only thing that we should be aware of at this point is that the druid can channel a fleshcraft. So he's probably going to try to get behind a pillar to channel that. See what happens. I actually waste my kick here. So in this case, I shouldn't have used my kick. I should have noticed that the druid was going to go do this fleshcraft. I could have stopped this if I was anticipated it. So because he did that, we have to just kidney bomb the mage. Because, you know, like I said, we have to do a go off cooldown. So even though the go would have been better on the druid, the situation didn't present itself. And if we didn't do this go, we would just keep falling far and farther behind. So we opt to just do this. We get block, so it's fine. We swap druid and break his fleshcraft. Should have kept the druid off of that sheep, by the way. You usually just want to like living bomb off of this, so you can't just re-stealth. Aeghis trades Trinket Fade on their go. Nice. You can tell by the way we're playing, we're trading our trinkets pretty well. We're usually only using one trinket each go. So you can look at the beginning of that game, like Naj had to trinket cloak. Then I could trinket save him the next go, and then Aeghis ideally trinkets last, because if he trinkets first, they can just kill him in the next go. So like I said, ideally you want to trade like rogues defensives first, or if I can trinket peel him, that would be good too. But ideally never healers first, because against GODCOMP they can just swap your healer and kill. Like GODCOMP is really, really good at killing healers. So their trinkets are coming back up, which means that there is no concrete target. It's really just whoever is good in the moment. Druid's going for a re. Mage is actually getting pretty low. I thought the druid was going to re-stealth and stun my healer, so I blinked over to get him out. He CS's me again, so they land a full sheep on my healer. I pre-DB the mage for the go. Land the ring on the druid. Ideally, get like Chastise Fear on this priest or something. I CS Void. We opt to go priest off that CS. No, we don't. So we got Druid's Trinket there from blind. That's obviously pretty good. skip ahead just a little bit. So again, we're in this situation. Druid, no trinket, no fleshcraft. And we have mind games. So we're looking to kill the druid here. We fear the priest. He trinkets it because he knows that we're about to go as druid. So I sheepish trinket, and then ideally we get a stun on the druid here pretty soon. While my sheep DR is on priest. He's able to stop that fleshcraft. We kidney him out of form, no trinket. I have bust. We have mind games. There's the mind games. I'm busting. We bomb it. So the thing in RMP with bomb, yeah, no one's in cross CC when we go, but the bomb like eliminates the need for cross CC in a way because, I mean, think about it, right? If you bomb, no one can do anything. So, and then you CC them when they come into the bomb. So IDB, once they get in there, and we just kill off of raw dam because dampening was a little bit high and we had mind games. Like I said, your kill is usually going to be like on the druid or the shadow priest. It's hard to get like a really clean game against our druid GODCOMP. So like I said, a lot of the times you're going to have to resort for consistent wins. You're going to have to resort to the closest wizard strat. Because if the druid is just playing 80 yards away, even though he's the one with no trinket, you can't just waste as much time. Like, you can't waste all that time waiting for him to be like a good kill target. So I don't know if I really missed anything, or I probably did. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still new to making these educational type videos. So if they don't appear to be like super educational or the best, I do apologize. I will improve the more I do it. But I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, like I said, leave a comment on what matchup you guys are struggling into. And hopefully I can continue to make videos like this into different matchups and help you guys learn how to beat certain comps as a sub rogue, fire mage, holy priest, or disc priest. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and peace out.